Well, hello, farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose. And welcome back to our farm here on the province of North Brabant. We are getting ready to seed some corn. Let me bring you up to date on where we are at in the game. Yesterday, or when we last left off, I was putting barley in the fields. We got barley in field number 8. 3, 49, 48, and 5. So that'll give us plenty of barley to recap everything that we sold off. And we're going to move ahead with seeding corn. So we are headed to the shop. I wanted to fill up with some petrol there because we are headed over to the shop picking up a new seeder for corn. And then we are going to jump into the fields and get going on it. So that's where we're at. And just so you know, the BGA is open. The bunker that we had fermenting hit 100% about 3 hours in game ago, around 1500. I did go ahead and start doing some of the BGA to get some more money in. I started out at around $100,000 and or credits, whatever you want to call it. I started out around 100,000. I put 2 or 3 truckloads in, got up to $211,000, and then am working on it periodically. So I'll jump back and forth between that as we go. So we're going to buy a sewing machine, and I figure we might as well just go for the gusto on this and get the. We could either get the Vaterstat 6 meter, or we go all the way and get the Horsch 9 meter rig. I really don't see why we don't just go ahead and get the 9 meter rig. We've got the money to do it now, and then we don't have to upgrade later on down the road. The 6 meter rig's just fine, but yeah, most of our fields are big enough for 9 meters. I think we're good. So we'll go ahead and get this bad boy. As I look at it one more time before I pull the trigger on it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and grab that. And that will get us going with that. I still want to get a plow. Before I get to the next field, hey, I'm going to buy a plow. I don't know which one I'm going to get. Ooh, the big Vogel is on sale. But, man, these fields just aren't big enough to justify that thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when the time comes. Let's go ahead and hook up to this guy and get going. Hey, so I'm going to put a video link up on my Twitter feed as well as Facebook. And for you guys, it's one of the guys from OBE modding or OEB modding did a video comparison on 1.2 and 1.3 beta to let you guys see the performance of what's going on with the new patch, and it's pretty substantial. If you notice how when I drive this tractor and let it get up to speed, when I turn with it, see how it doesn't drift at all? 1.3 has done away with the drift, even on the pickup trucks. Some would say a little too much done away with it, but it's still done away with it, and that's a good thing. So if you want to see what exactly the patch is going to do, I'm not going to go through it and do it, so someone else has, which is pretty great. And I'll go ahead and put that link up in my Twitter and my Facebook page if you haven't seen that already. Also, a real quick update. For those of you who have been looking at the Apple mod stuff, the greenhouses from T2K modding, and any of the Apple mod stuff where I've put that large kiosk from T2K modding, there was an issue with the gentleman who runs that blog, just kind of basically blocked permissions on it for a while, and you couldn't get to it, couldn't get any of the files anymore. I've since gone through and located all of the actual files for download at particular websites, and I've put direct links to all of those in each of the corresponding videos. So if you do want some of those mods and you hadn't been able to get those because the links were broken, I have fixed that. Those who have sent me notices on it, I have gone ahead and responded to their responses just to let them know what was going on. But just thought I'd bring that to everybody's attention in case you had not said anything to me about it and were wondering why it wasn't there. Alright, so we are going to be planting corn in our fields and using the 9-meter rig, which this says is 10 meters, so we need to bring the width down on it. I don't know what's up with GPS, it's been doing that. Maybe it's just because of the way I'm sitting right now that it's got that going on. No offset. And let's look at our path. Looks pretty decent. Again, I'm not going to go strictly by GPS on this. I'm pretty much just going to eyeball it. Alright, so we'll get this guy going. We'll lower down. And we will start putting some corn in the ground. That's pretty much going to be this video today. Is just going to be seeding corn. And we'll talk about things that are coming up. I did go ahead and record a video on Colborough Farm. If you haven't seen that, then I didn't put it up yet, or I did put it up yet. I don't know. I recorded both of these videos at the same time, so I probably put the Colborough Farm up and then put the this video up. We have gone ahead and discussed it, and that's going to be our multiplayer farm. So that will take that out of the running for me to use as a solo project. But I figure what I'll do is I'll work this farm as a solo project, and then I'll go work on the multiplayer farm whenever time, when I want something fresh to do. And we'll do some multiplayer with the guys, but I'll also mix it up and do some just single play on there, just doing maintenance on the farm when they're not around. Maybe, some grass work or some sowing fields or things like that. So we'll just mix it up. We'll do a little bit of everything. When they're not available to do multiplayer, I'll also be doing some work on that map because I really like that map and I really want to play it. So looking forward to it. If you haven't checked out the video, it'll be up, and it should already be up. Gotta raise that up there, dum-dum. You're going across concrete. Yeah, should already be up. Like I said, I wasn't really sure on which order and which I was gonna put them up, but in this conversation right now that I'm having with you, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and decide to go ahead and put Colborough up first. So ignore everything I've said up till now about the order in which the videos were put up. I'm indecisive. I'll tell you that. I just, it is what it is. Alright, so back up a little bit here. Let's see if I can't swing around here and get lined up for another pass. So anyways, that's about that. What else is happening? Seems like something else happened. No, maybe not. Oh, something else I want to talk about today in the video is mods. I've gotten a couple of emails from folks recently who are having issues with mods, having issues with the game, having issues with mods, and they don't really know why. It's very important when you guys are modding your game. And I know a lot of you guys know all this stuff, and I'm just talking to a few people, but when you start putting mods in the game, you just can't slap every mod that you find in the game and have it work. You have to keep in mind that when the game initializes, it reads your mod folder and it brings everything into the game. And then as it loads the map that you're playing, it ciphers out what it needs for the particular map. But if there are mods in there that conflict with one another, it can cause problems in the game. And if you're playing multiple maps, it's very important that you segregate your maps. And by that I mean, in the case with me, I'm playing My Big Country as well as North Brabant, right? It's very important that I pull, when I'm playing North Brabant, I pull My Big Country out of my mods folder, and vice versa. When I play My Big Country, I take North Brabant out. The reason for that is to make sure that there's no conflicts between the two maps. Now, I'll be honest with you. I know my maps, and I know that I can run those two maps in my subfolder at the exact same time, and I don't have an issue with it. However, I've had issues in the past with maps having conflicts, and a great example of it is if you have a map, let's say on this map I have the mix station from Maru on here, right? So the mix station is on this map. If I were to download, and now the name of the map doesn't come to mind, Bandakino. If I was to download it and start playing, or Balakino or whatever it's called, if I was to download that particular map and put it on here and have this map also in the mods folder, I'd have an issue. And it would cause all kinds of problems in the game. The map would load, but after the map loaded, I'd have glitches in there. And the reason for that is Baldacchino has the mix station in there. However, they've modified the mix station just slightly, because if you've ever seen that map, the mix station there doesn't have a pipe coming out of it. The mix station is the graphics as well for the mix station aren't there. There are actually some little like hang on, I kind of messed up here, so I was kind of fixing that. There are receptacles for each of the fruit, for your straw, your grass, and your silage. They're outside of a building, and then on the inside there is the control panel, and then a pipe coming out of the ceiling that you pull under to get your mixed rations out of. It's using the same engine for the mix station, but it's not using the actual mix station. And some things had to be changed within the script to make all that work. Well, so if I loaded this map and had that one in the same mod folder, there would be a conflict between the two, and I would actually have problems with this map not rendering properly or just not performing right. And so you need to keep that in mind when you're downloading mods and put them in there. It's very important that you think about what you're doing, think about the mods that you have in there, make sure you don't have duplicates. Some of these mods come with the mods already inside the map folder, and if you're not really paying attention, you'll be putting a map on with you'll be putting a map in, and you'll have a mod within the map, but then you'll also have a freestanding mod in your subfolder, and the two of them will have issues with each other. So if you think about it, and if you do start having issues in the game, make sure you make a mental note of what I added, when I added it, what changes I've made. And when you start having problems, then you just kind of have to go back through and look at your mods and say, well, what mod did I put in last? Which one caused it? What might be causing this issue? And through process of elimination, by removing a mod here and there, and then testing the game, you'll figure out where your conflicts are. But the best thing you can do, again, is if you have multiple maps, segregate your maps, pull them out, and don't have multiple maps in your mods folder at the same time. Otherwise, you're asking for some issues. And so hopefully the folks that I've dealt with have gotten their issues resolved. Also, it's a good idea to defrag your computer periodically. You're writing and rewriting information on a daily basis, and you're leaving little fragments on your computer. And if you don't have a whole lot of hard drive space, you could be having some issues. So make sure you defrag your computer on a regular basis. It will help you out tremendously. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that for folks who might be having some issues, because I have had a couple of folks message me recently that were having issues with that, and I try to address each person and help them out as much as I can. It's hard to troubleshoot your issues though with in text, so you know, hopefully the explanations will help you guys out. So anyways, so I did download the I've downloaded the greenhouse for lettuce. I'll probably do a video on that this week as well. And I've got the new Ep30. I'll be doing a video on that as well to continue that series. Though I probably won't be using much of that in the gameplay. I don't know. I do like Ep30. I like the peaches and the grapes. Olives, you know, take it or leave it. But I do like the peaches and the abilities to do grapes, which I had found another there's another fruit program out there that does a ton of stuff, and I was gonna think about doing a series on it, but I really am not in love with the mod, and so I was happy to see Rosenthaler put out the new apple mods with the grapes in there, because I thought grapes would be great because you can put them up as a hedgerow, and they would be really cool to grow. So I think that part I will incorporate eventually into one of my maps. So yeah, updated a few mods. I put the new version of Drive Control in today. I really don't use all the stuff that's in Drive Control, but I do go ahead and update just because it's a good idea to keep on top of everything. Let's get out of this field real quick. Alright, so this one is ready to go. And we'll move over here into this big behemoth of a field. And we'll get going on it. Get some corn in it. Really not using I'm really not using GPS this go around. I'm just kind of eyeballing everything. I pretty much know what width I need to be off of the edge. Like if I set mine fender up with just that little bit of space there between the edge, I should be good. I'm probably not maximizing the width of the machine or the tool, but with an iMeter tool, you know, that gives yourself a little bit of leeway. You could do a little overseeding, which technically in the game there is no overseeding in this game, so it doesn't really matter that much. We'll knock out our headland here, and then we'll just kind of move around. I forgot to note what time I started this, so yeah. Who knows how long this video will end up being. But my new hard drive's in today, so I'm updating to a new 2 terabyte SSHD drive on my computer. So I'm going to be excited about having all that extra storage room for doing videos. Should help things out a little bit. My main hard drive is getting a little full. So I'm going to be changing that out. And I really don't have a need for an SSD drive at this time, so the hybrid should be pretty good. It's my first run-in with a hybrid, so I'm interested to see how it does. Mixed reviews on it online, but for the price I got on it, I'm a happy camper. They might as well have paid me to take the hard drive. Alright, let's get on this guy and head on up. Anywho, so the like I said, the dedicated server has been updated. Landy put all the files that we need to do Coleborough Park up yesterday, and he got all that taken care of. I went on there today and messed around with it just a little bit to make sure I had all the files I needed, and so hopefully a recording session with the guys will be taking place here pretty soon. Maybe as early as this evening, maybe. And I can start getting some multiplayer video up for you. And I'll be honest with you, it might for a little bit, with some of the things that are going on in people's lives, it might just be Landy and I playing for a little while. There are some folks have work and other issues in life, and they may not have the time that we have, and so it might just be the two of us playing some on the multiplayer, and then we'll get the other guys in there whenever. And like I said, it may be an issue where I just go on there and play for a little bit, do some hay baling or something like of that nature. I don't do any baling on any of the farms I've been running because they all have bulk storage, and that one does not. So there'll be an opportunity to do some baling, and since we never do baling, maybe we'll do some on there, and I'll jump on there by myself one day. There's some massive green fields on there that you can do things like that on, and so it would give me the opportunity to do that. I know I don't do proper seeding here, going up and down my lanes. I mean, technically I just should be going up and down, north and south on my lanes. I don't know why, I'm just not focused in right now on it. Most of the time I do that. I don't normally square off like I am. I'll square off when I'm cultivating. Typically when I seed, I just go north and south after I get my headland in. I don't know why I've been squaring off on this. Now that I've caught myself doing it, I'll get back to doing things the proper way. But yeah, I watched that video, and the update looks good as far as the physics of the game. And that's important to get things performing right, not skidding around. Trailers don't skid around. They'll actually stick to the ground, and that'll be nice. That'll be real nice to have. And again, I'll put the link to that video up on my Twitter feed, as well as on my Facebook page. So check that out. Gotta remember to lift that head. If you don't, it actually sticks pretty good. So moving forward on this map, now that we're getting the corn in, we'll have the barley to harvest, we'll have all this corn. We'll go and put it over into the bunker over at the BGA to make a whole bunch of silage. And depending on what happens with this run, we'll buy a plow for sure. And I will probably start looking at getting us some more cattle. And go ahead and get that operation beefed up, so to say. Ha ha! Corny joke number one. Couldn't resist it. It just popped into my head. Sometimes I just amuse myself. Probably not you. I think I need to do off camera, and I need to go do that. I'll do it on my test map. I have another version of this map that I have as a test map, and I went in and gave myself a whole bunch of money and set it up the way I wanted it. It has, because I was going to use it to demo some mods that some people had asked me to look at, and one of the things I have is I have 200 animals of each, and they have a ton of manure. I have no idea what that manure pit on the other side of this map is all about. And I need to go check that out and see what that is, because that might be a way to... I'm wondering if you put the manure in there, if it turns it to slurry. I don't know what that brought to my mind, because I guess it's because I'm over here next to the livestock. But it's been on my mind. It's been something I've been wondering about, why you have the manure pit over there. And he said something to the effect of, you know, I can't get the water out of it. When I was reading the original details of the map, I never really understood what that pit's for over there. So, I need to go check that out. I'll let you guys know what that's all about, but I'm going to put that on my list of things to do this week, is to figure out what that manure pit's all about. And, because if we're going to up the operation and start getting a whole lot more crap, I need to know what to do with it. And if I can take it over there and dump it in that hole, and it makes slurry for us to get out, which would make sense. You put a manure into a hole full of water, you get liquid manure out, right? So maybe that's what that is. Can't swear to it. Don't hold me to it and say, oh well, this is, because I do know a couple of you guys have written me and said you're playing this map. If you've messed with the manure pit over there and you know exactly what it is, please let me know in the comments. That's one thing I haven't tackled on this map. But I'll check it out this week. See what that's up. So yeah, probably should check on the BGA here in a minute too. Dump some more silage into the grinder. I'll do that in just a second. So, you know, the way I'm doing the BGA right now is I'm just using the single conveyor belt, which I already had from earlier. When we first purchased this map and I first started doing the mixed rations for the cattle for our dairy farm, and started making our first batch of TMR, because I didn't have the funds to buy a front loader, we bought the alright, sorry about that little glitch. I hit the wrong button, tabbed out, killed fraps, and so yeah, I had to restart. Anyways, so what I was going to say is, one of the things that we did when I originally started out, I didn't have the money to get a front loader on this, for those who are just joining us late in the game. And so what I did was I bought the conveyor belt. So the conveyor belt worked great for that. It's worked great for this. But somebody asked me, you know, why don't you buy a second one? I'm cheap. That's an honest opinion. You know, playing in hard mode and every dime counts, and I'd rather not spend the money. This works. I got a couple of tractors here. I can just keep doing this all day long, and it works for me. So that's the reason why I didn't buy a second conveyor belt, because I won't be doing this whole conveyor belt thing all the time. Or I might. This really is a great way. And off camera, if you want to speed up the BGA, and I mean, like, and make this work a little bit faster, you can always fast forward time up to 60 times, and it'll basically, that whole trailer will dump at one time at 60. But I'd rather just keep it real time. I don't like to do the fast forward stuff on the game. I try to play the game pretty much in real time. That way, you get a real idea of how everything goes. So I don't do much fast tracking. And that way you're throwing a little bit in there while it processes. You come do a little bit of field work, you go back over there, throw a little bit more in there, and eventually you get it done. It's no instant gratification, but it works out good for you. It works for me anyways. The way you play is the way you play. Alright, I want to get this corner real quick, and I'm going to give myself a little bit more room right here to maneuver, because those houses are pretty tight to this field. Oops. Now we can start doing our north-south runs. East to west, whatever it is in this case. So we'll get this field finished up and we'll call it a video, because this is probably going to be 30-40 minutes. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and we'll continue off screen to seed the fields and go get the rest of the fields full of corn, which is going to be my game plan. The next video, I'll tell you what we'll do in the next video is we'll finish up the seeding by purchasing. I'm going to purchase. Whoa, hello. I do that a lot. Y'all, I play with a gamepad. If you ever see this thing just go off and it seems like I've lost control of it and I'm driving in a straight line for no reason, playing on the gamepad, for me to lift the implement is the left shoulder button and the right button on the gamepad. And a lot of times that same right button enables hired help, and if I hit it wrong, I end up hiring help, and they just want to drive off the tractor for me. And I really should. I do it so often, I screw it up so much. I really should, and I don't use that function. If you notice, I never hire help. If I do hire help, it's through Courseplay. So I really should just go in and turn that completely off. Because if I do want to hire help, I can always hit H on the keyboard and make that happen. But yeah, you'll never see me just hire the AI. I'm either going to use Auto Combine or I'm going to use Courseplay for that particular thing. What was I talking about anyways? Oh, so the next, sorry about that. I just kind of lose place sometimes. Not enough coffee and not enough sleep. So in the next one, what we'll do is I'll go get a plow, and I'm going to combine those two fields down there by the garden center. So we'll do that, and we'll lime that field, get it ready, and then we'll sow that as one big giant field in our next edition, and that will finish up the corn, and then we'll find something to keep us amused while the corn grows. Maybe we buy some livestock, and we'll have to when we do upgrade the livestock, I will have to spend some time feeding and moving rations and things like that around. So maybe that's what we do in the next video. After that, we'll be, we'll get the field seeded, we'll finish up, and then while we wait for things to grow, we'll work on our livestock and tend to them, things of that nature. We're 18:30, so again, keeping with my kind of work rules, I'll probably not seed too much longer. I'll probably go up to 20, and then I'll call it a work day, and come back and seed early in the morning to finish up our seeding. So it'll put our fields on a little bit of a differential, but as far as time goes, but that's a good thing. You don't want them all coming up at the exact same time. Though the game doesn't really tend to let me do that too often. I've kind of talked about this before. It's weird. If I set this field up to grow, and if you've ever watched it, like if you've ever fast tracked through to watch your fields grow, it almost seems like there's a wave that comes in from the top of the screen and cascade. Oh, I'm gonna have a little issue there if I don't stay out of that ditch. I forgot about that ditch being there. Trying to get that implement around and not hit that tree. Y'all got me trying to do too much first person driving, and I'm not good at it. I'm talking about, it just seems like it comes in from a wave that cascades down from the top of the screen, and it really doesn't matter when you planted your field. If I planted my field today, it just seems to like come ripe at the same time as all the other fields do. It's kind of bizarre. I don't really like that. I'd like to plant this field in the in the 1840. I'm planting this field. Well, when the next field, if I plant it at the 1930 or 1900 hour, it shouldn't come ripe at the exact same time as this field does. But they tend to in this game, and that sort of irritates me. Because my ultimate goal is to get 4 fields come ripe at the exact same time. And while I'm harvesting those 4 fields, the next 4 fields come ripe. But that doesn't seem to work. And if you're playing with plant withering on, that can mess you up. Though you have a big enough window with the plant withering that as long as they start to ripen, you get to it and you get started harvesting, you won't have an issue. Unless you just try to do way too much. Alrighty. So we knocked this field out, and we'll be back with our next video tomorrow. I hope. It may not be this episode. It just depends. If I do a multiplayer tonight, it won't be this series tomorrow. But yeah, our next video in this series will be what we talked about. I need coffee really bad. Alright, 2 more passes and this field will be done, guys. Check back there and make sure I'm in the lane on it. I'm probably missing that one outside seeder every time. Close enough. I could always use the row guides, but maybe that's what we'll do on the next one. We use the row guides. I gotta remember what button it is to actually raise and lower them. Next time we seed, we'll do that. See how that works out for us. It might make first person sowing a little bit easier for me. I'll mess with that on the next field. Perfect it so when I do it for you guys, I won't look like an idiot trying to figure it out. Pretty much, if it's set up right, your row guide marks in your field where the center of the tractor needs to drive on the next pass. Typically is the way that works if they're all set up. I haven't used them enough in this game. I know they're there, it's just I forget about them. Alright, that should be that. I got a little touch-up work to do over here where I missed a row. And this field will be ready to go. Again, everything has been cultivated and fertilized already, so when I plant, all we have to do is get the seed in the field and we're good to go. Alright guys, that'll do her. Got a couple of fields sown. We've got a little BGA work going. I'm going to move over here into this field, and that's where I will pick up operations. And I hope you guys will come back and join me again tomorrow for another edition of Farming Simulator 2015. I can't guarantee you that we'll be on North Brabant. I have no idea what my videos are going to be the next day because I don't really plan things out per se. I just kind of go with the flow. If there's a multiplayer session tonight, I will record that and I'll make that my next video. You know, I just kind of think things through and then kind of do them throughout the week, and things go as they go. I don't record like, I tend not to record 6 or 8 different things and then put them all up online and schedule them to go. A lot of times I do things spur of the moment. Typically, like, I'm recording this video on Tuesday to be up on Wednesday, so that's sort of the way I go. So I'm pretty much day by day on this stuff. I know a lot of other people who record whole bunches of stuff and then they schedule them. The only time I typically schedule stuff is on the weekends. I'll go ahead and get things done during the week, and so on the weekends I really don't have to do a whole lot, or vice versa on the weekends. If I'm, you know, if I'm available that day, I'll record a few things and have that in the coffer ready to go. That will change maybe as I get busy this summer with work, but for the most part, I just kind of go day by day. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, that like button over there, please click on it. That does help me out. If you're a new viewer and you like the videos, please subscribe. Like I said, I do a video every day. I try to make sure you guys get a video every day. So, but anyways, yeah, subscribe and you'll get the email notification when that's coming out. Other than that, thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Have a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks again for watching this video. And if you made it all the way to the end, well, maybe you liked it. So give me a big old thumbs up. That like goes a long way. Also, subscribe to this channel. I will update the videos every single day, so there'll always be something new for you to see. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back again tomorrow. Thanks for your support.